Hello, and welcome to another podcast by the Elite Lizzard Publishing Company. I am your host, Elizabeth Campbell, and also the owner, and I'm going to be talking to you about unlocking the power of sensory hierarchy in storytelling. Now, when writing fiction, we often think about the big picture, the plot structure, the character arcs, the themes, but the magic of storytelling often lives in the details, in the small sensory experiences that pull readers into a scene. So this blog that we're discussing today dives into an obscure but impactful technique that enhances sensory hierarchy. So what is sensory hierarchy? It is the practice of strategically prioritizing certain sensories over others based on the character's experience, the setting, and the mood of a scene. So not all senses hold equal importance to every moment. By understanding which sensory details are likely to resonate most in a particular situation, you can more accurately capture the character's reality, bringing readers closer to your world. So imagine if you're writing a scene in a bustling street market. As a writer, you might be tempted to give readers everything all at once. The colors of the stalls, the scent of the spices, the hum of the people, the taste of the food samples, the textures of objects. But focusing on one or two dominant senses, you can actually lead the readers to experience the scene with greater intensity. So, why does sensory hierarchy work? So our brain naturally prioritizes sensory input based on environmental needs and individual preferences. This focus helps us avoid overwhelming our audience and directs us toward what's most relevant at that given moment. So when a character is in a dangerous situation, for example, their senses of sight, hearing may sharpen, while smell and taste may fade into the background. So applying this storytelling sensory hierarchy allows you to intensify emotional impact by limiting sensory input so that you can create a more focused emotional response. Now, we also want to build anticipation. And so when you withhold certain senses, readers yearn to know more, and that creates that suspense. If we can create authentic perspectives with different characters, you'll notice these different things about them. So sensory hierarchy can help readers feel like they are truly inside that character's head. Now, how can we apply sensory hierarchy to our writing? Well, here are some practical tips for you to use in different types of scenes. So in an action scene, your dominant senses is sight and sound. For an example, a character running through a dark forest might be hyper aware of snapping twigs and the faint glimmer of light that's cascading through the trees. The smell and taste is obviously irrelevant. The effect is we're trying to prioritize sight and sound to really capture the urgency and tension of the action, drawing readers into a more immediacy of the moment. Now, for romance, we want to have our dominant senses be touch, smell, and sound. So, for an example, in a scene where two characters are standing very close, you might highlight the warmth of their skin, the scent of their shampoo and their hair, or the soft sound of their breathing. This will evoke that closeness and intimacy and create a more emotionally charged experience for your reader. Now, for mystery and suspense, which is very similar to the action scenes. We're going to again dive into sound and smell. So, for an example, if a character is exploring an abandoned house, they may pick up like the subtle cracks the subtle creaks in the floor, and the smell of the place. Maybe it smells funny, and maybe a faint rustle of fabric for a mystery. So this prioritizing the sound and smell for a sense of the unknown, it keeps the reader in high suspense and on edge. So those are lots of different tips you can use. And we can also do, like, for reflective or emotional moments, we can do sight and touch. So for an example, if a character is reminiscing about the past, we can focus on specific visual details and textures, perhaps a faded photograph, or maybe the feel of a worn leather jacket. So we're offering a grounded tactile connection to memory, and it's creating a quieter, more introspective atmosphere. Now, using sensory hierarchy to develop your character, we're going to reveal the traits in some of them by senses due to their personality, background, profession, or whatever. For example, a chef might notice flavors and smells first above all else. So it gives you an opportunity to weave the culinary details into non-food scenes. A musician might be hypersensitive to sound, aware of rhythms in conversations or footsteps or nature even. A tactile person could focus on textures and noticing the feel of fabrics or surfaces more than, colors or sounds. So by aligning sensory hierarchy with a character's personality, you can deepen their authenticity, making their reactions feel more organic rather than forced, So this is basically building your own hierarchy cheat sheet. So if you can make this easier to incorporate it into your writing, I would consider, creating this kind of cheat sheet for your story. Which is, an example, the main character, he was attuned to sound and smell due to a childhood incident involving fire. Or a coastal village where sight, sensory, and touch are more predominant, like a sea breeze or the scenery. So, sensory hierarchy is about paring down what matters most given in that moment. And so if we can thoughtfully select these senses to highlight what's going on, you can focus on the essence of the scene, and it ensures the writers are not ever going to get bogged down with too much unnecessary details. So the next time you're writing, ask yourself a question. What does this character notice first? So let that sense lead, and then you might find that your senses become not just more vivid, but more meaningful for the reader. So I hope you really enjoyed this blog and gave you lots of information to take away from. Please, look out for our website if you're ever interested in publishing with us, the Elite Lizzard Publishing Company, and we can be found on our website called theelitelizard.ca. It's pretty easy to find us. So, and we have all the blogs that we discuss here are all available to you on our website in a text form. I hope you have a great day. See you later.